This is me, and this is my dad. We went to New York. Drive 275 miles from Waverly to Chicago, fly from Chicago to Charlotte, and Charlotte to New York. And we were off. We started the 4.5-hour drive to Chicago early Saturday morning. Illinois, I get paying to drive on a road, but paying 4 times to drive on one road. It's a little excessive. After having a great time with all the toll roads, we finally made it to the airport. Here we come, Charlotte.
Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items. Take a moment to check your seat back pocket.
So at this point, it was either 3:17 or 4:17, and we were in Charlotte waiting to go to New York. After picking up some Chick-fil-A, we were soon on our way to New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New York LaGuardia Airport.
So at this point, we had left the airport and gotten a Lyft driver to where we'd be staying, but the problem was that we were locked out. After waiting outside for about half an hour, we finally got in and called it a night. The next morning, we were up bright and early, headed to the Bronx to attend a Caribbean church. We got on the C train on Rockaway Avenue and were off. Our end goal was to make it to the Bronx. Simple enough, right? Well, it took us 2 hours to go from Brooklyn up through Manhattan and into the Bronx. We ended up accidentally getting off the C train and getting on another train, so we ended up having to walk a mile more than we expected. The church service ended up being just under 3 hours, and afterwards we headed to the Outback. It was my first time at the Aussie restaurant, and even though the prices were kind of high, it was pretty good. By the time we were outside of the restaurant, it was already dark, and we headed back on the subway towards Manhattan. On our way back to Brooklyn, we decided to stop in Upper Manhattan to see the lights of Times Square. Sure, the lights and everything were really cool, but I was just happy to see Red Elmo. We explored Times Square for a bit, and then we headed home, back to Brooklyn. And it's a new day. Today was our day to explore. We started at a coffee shop in Brooklyn, and then we were going to head into Manhattan. On our way into Manhattan, we stopped at a doubles place to pick up some Trinidadian doubles. If you don't know what doubles are, then you're missing out. Next, we headed into Lower Manhattan to see the Statue of Liberty. I really hit it off with the birds. Love ya flying dudes. Next we were off to see the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, I'm not a writer. Okay.
Yeah, but on my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Yeah, but on my way home, yeah.
Next we headed up to see the One World Trade Center. The 1,776-foot building is amazing. Next we made a quick jaunt over to Casey Neistat's studio to see where it was in relation to New York. For lunch we quickly grabbed some pizza. After lunch we were back on the subway and headed out to Central Park.
Very rare species. On a yearly basis.
I don't really know where we were at this point, but we found an Apple store. After aimlessly running around New York City, we found ourselves in front of the Empire State Building. At this point, it was pretty late in the evening, and we were pretty dang hungry. We ran into Koreatown looking for food. No luck in Koreatown. You're not gonna find me paying $10 for a bowl of noodles. Chinese food is cheap, right? Oh shoot, I hate Chinese food. Maybe Italian? Well, according to these cameramen, Italian food in Little Italy is not good. Because Manhattan was out of food, we decided to go to Brooklyn. We didn't have any better luck in Brooklyn. The next day consisted mostly of meetings, and we weren't able to get out before dark. After visiting the 9/11 memorial, we were on our way, looking for supper. Irish food? Nah. How about sushi? After sushi, we walked over to the subway and headed back to Brooklyn. For the rest of the night, we explored Brooklyn. We woke up the next morning and got a lift to the airport. See you later, New York. Thanks for all the fun.